stated, I'm torn between admiration and pity. You've condemned me for my actions, Jenson. But look at the lengths you've gone to find one woman. Wasted potential. Although from what I've heard, I suspect you'll still be of use to me dead.
Shut up, Burke. Your head...
He-Man.
You'll never catch my mustache! He looks like one of the children from the Rugrats.
That's great.
Stupid haircut with a skull on his face. So anyway, this boss fight, really difficult because you have a boss guard and it's down to chance pretty much. You have to... What I can't hear as well is reloading over and over again, because sometimes that box guard opens fire as soon as the video starts. As soon as the video stops playing and puts you back in game, it shoots at you, so you have no chance to dodge. And it kills you really quickly on the highest difficulty, which one? Give me Deus Ex. So it's pretty much down to timing this level, with having good aim with the tranquilizer rifle, which we need mostly, and sneaking around that first part with the box guard. I've got a strepsil in my mouth.
Oh, okay, right. I wondered what that was.
So, first thing we do once we climb the ladder is track that guard, because if we time it right, he'll be staying forward and we won't have to track him. Also, he can spot us if we step any further from the top of the ladder. So, this is the point up here where you can start to be a bit more leisurely with the way you approach him. You more or less want to take the upper catwalks. I did do a run once where I decided to charge straight down the middle with everyone shooting at me, and I was lucky that I didn't get hit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was on the director's cut when I played it on PC, where it runs a lot smoother and I find controlling in FPS a lot easier, and the whole game runs a lot smoother as well.
So that's something you probably couldn't replicate here if you wanted to.
I couldn't. I'm sure there's someone who's better with an Xbox controller or a PS3 controller, but I know I couldn't with the low frame rate compared to what the director's cut on PC gives you.
Rightio. Okay.
He's still taunting us, by the way.
It seems very roundabout for a boss fight. I don't feel like I'm engaged in combat right now so much as doing my own leisurely thing.
Yeah, I get you. So, to get a good approach on him, there's only one real route we can take, which is jumping over those freight containers. And we've got another guard there, who, this is where we can be leisurely with. He's tiptoeing backwards and forwards around the turret.
Gotcha, okay. So you can just kind of meander over to him and, you know, give him a knock on the bods.
Yeah, you can bap him out. Check this out. Bap.
I love the tap on shoulder thing. I know we've seen it like 100 times in this LP, but I will never get sick of that.
It's kind of cartoonish.
It's like Jenson's equivalent of, "Hey, look over there!" runs away.
Yeah. And for this run, I decided for shits and giggles that I was going to knock out every single person in this room. There's Burke through there. He's protected by level 5, and if you open the door, the sound will alert him. So you don't have to hack, but you can actually go around and not get caught. So yeah, I decided to knock him out for funsies. He's knocked out. Sleepy time.
Burke's watching this and just imagining that all his men are really lazy. Like, what are you all doing?
He's not watching this because he's not alert. So we got his pistol. He actually gets a submachine gun, which does a lot more damage on high difficulties, more bullets.
You're headstrong. It may have served you well.
I love that audio glitch.
Is Burke dead?
I'm standing, he's not. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, you don't make things easy, do you? Still, with Burke out of the picture even briefly, there's a power vacuum I can use. Return to loading bay 2. The doors between here and the docking platform will be open for you.
Last time I passed through there, Burke's men were still waiting for me.
Not anymore. Burke has just ordered them away.
Great. Except I came here looking for Megan Reed, Bratan. I can't leave without knowing.
There is a boat heading toward the location as we speak. If you hurry, it can be on it.
We shall bring you back to the main plot of game.
Yeah, so the way the missing link connects to the main plot is obviously it's slap bang in the middle of the game, so to keep continuity, if you do or don't have the DLC, is they put you as you arrived, which actually sums it up nice because it changes the context of Jenson's line when he gets out of the container for what will be a second time, which we'll see when the video goes up. But
Fantastic.
now we can, yeah, once we look around the base there's no guards left, so we can leisurely look around.
Bratan,
Quinn?
I'm afraid our good friend Quinn met with an unfortunate incident during all the commotion and is no longer with us.
Your voice. It was you this whole time. Who are you?
For the moment, I am between identities. I apologize for the duplicity, but it was a necessary precaution. You had to be kept in the dark.
And Keitner? Did she know?
Commander Keitner's perception was much like yours, shrouded. She saw what she needed to see, and was told what she needed to hear in order for me to complete the mission.
So we were both pawns. Except she's dead and I'm not. So where does that leave me in your grand design?
We're all pawns in someone else's grand design, Mr. Jenson. But that doesn't make Natanya's death any less tragic. Your actions ensured her sacrifice was not made in vain, however. Dr. Kavanagh made it out safely, and is on her way to the rendezvous site. She will expose the truth in due time.
And the prisoners?
Ah yes, the prisoners. With Kavanagh out, it's only a matter of time before this base makes international headlines. Until that time, however, I cannot say what Bell Tower will do next. I only know that a cornered and desperate bull is a very dangerous beast. We mustn't stay here much longer, Mr. Jenson, if we hope to get you away from this base.
I still have questions, Quinn, and I want answers. Real answers, no more bullshit.
You really want to waste time chatting, Bratan? Fine. I will answer what I can, but keep in mind you have a boat to catch.
Keitner said she had been approached by an agent from Interpol. It was you, wasn't it?
Very astute. When I learned of Commander Keitner's suspicions and insubordinate behavior towards Burke, I saw an opportunity. Pretending to be an agent of Interpol seemed the best way to gain her trust.
You mean you lied? So who do you work for?
A loose network of independent operatives, agents of conversion and equilibrium, who seek to expose corruption and assure humanity's natural progress. In truth, we are not affiliated with any global organization. But then, neither is our enemy, officially.
Your enemy? You're not just talking about Bell Tower anymore, are you? You're talking about...
The men and women who pull Bell Tower strings. The same men and women who ordered them to kidnap Megan Reed.
Bell Tower probably has a battalion on its way to clean up this mess. How do you plan on keeping what we did here a secret?
I'm delighted to say that Burke did most of the damage control for us. After requesting a profile search on you, he never explained why he needed it. I believe he wanted to keep control of you to himself. Since that time, we've been monitoring all incoming and outgoing communications, and the lockdown allowed me to discreetly install a tunneler, rerouting the base's network traffic. By the time Bell Tower realizes something is wrong, it'll already be too late.
What about the rest of the base personnel?
Most of them think Burke is still in command. Technically, orders continue to be issued in his name, but I'm the one making the calls. I've also taken the liberty of cordoning off this sector of the base. For the moment, at least, we're safe.
Burke isn't exactly dead. And once he wakes up, it's gonna get ugly.
Like I said before, you haven't made things easier for us. But they haven't forgotten that small detail. For now, Burke remains contained. Once you're off the base, I'll find a more permanent solution.
All right. Where's Megan?
I don't know for certain. But what I do know is that earlier today, Burke issued orders to have a large group of detainees transferred off this base. Supposedly, they will be assisting at another black site facility.
Kavanaugh said this was just the factory floor. You're sure Megan is at this other facility?
Nothing is ever certain in life, Mr. Jenson. But it is the best chance you have. Unfortunately, the cargo ship carrying the prisoners has already set sail. But I took the liberty to send out an urgent dispatch in Burke's name, ordering the ship's captain to hold position until one more detainee could be flown on board. In stasis. A helicopter is en route to pick you up.
Wait a second. You want me to get inside another stasis pod? Last time I got in one of those things, it didn't go so well.
I know it's far from ideal, but frankly, your options are quite limited. Although, I suppose you could try swimming there.
Better be the right fucking boat this time. Because I don't feel like coming back here anytime soon.
Don't worry, mate. It'll be grand. Besides, I thought you Americans liked riding off into the sunset.
It's done. Exactly as you instructed.
And yet you sound disappointed. You think we should have handled this differently?
I think we had a valuable asset in our hands, and we're letting him slip away. He could have been very useful in the coming storm.
A hand does not need to be clenched tightly to maintain its hold on someone. Jenson carries too much baggage right now. His obsession with Reed only serves to distract him.
We could have told him the truth.
He must discover it by himself. And when he does, if you have followed my instructions precisely, we will know how to find him.
Assuming he lives that long.
So yes, a brilliant end to a brilliant piece of DLC. That was the missing link.
Wow. Okay. Good.
So yeah, Jenson has found himself under interest of not only the Illuminati trying to control him, but basically the counter to the Illuminati not trying to indoctrinate him, not to get them to join him, but what was I on about? Shit.
The conspiracy at large. Just
yeah. So this is the credits for the DLC anyway. Mostly the same development team as the original Deus Ex. I should point out actually that just before the cutscene where the helicopter was carrying the stasis pod over to the freighter is the point where in the director's cut you get to pick up all your gear. So there's a little box which you press and it's all of your gear from before the DLC that spawns around you, and all of your practice upgrades return to you in the form of empty practice kits. So in the director's cut you pick that up and you get like 70 odd free practice points to realign, so you can even readjust your character at that point if you wanted to.
just a full-on overhaul if you're so inclined.
Absolutely. And obviously there's New Game Plus after that, and that guy is thrilled by something in the distance.
I was gonna say, I'm trying not to make fun of the people, like the people in this, but it's hard not to.
I wouldn't say make fun of them, but
okay,
just the things around them. And I think it's nice that something that we missed in that is kind of how in cutscenes characters talk about Jenson as though he's a indestructible master of everything.
He kind of is when you're controlling him. I mean, yeah.
Well, the thing is that it makes, as a player, it makes everything feel a lot more rewarding. So my struggle, I've struggled through something, I've got over it in the game, and all the characters, not even to my character's face, talk about how holy shit he managed to do that.
That is
really
awesome.
Yeah. I might not let all of these credits play. I think I might, just because it's saying, hey, thanks to you, to all of the development team, but our commentary might not last that long.
It's fine, we can just talk about, well, what did you think of the DLC as a whole? Do tell.
It had its down points, but as DLC holds up, it's definitely one of the better, or definitely on the spectrum of the amazing as far as DLC goes. Not as good as an expansion pack, but they don't make those for games anymore. But DLC-wise, it expanded on the story a lot. It added a lot more depth to characters, gave more backstory into the world, the lore, like the Illuminati, the counter to it. The Council of Deus, I guess, is what they'd be called. DedSec. Watch Dogs is also similar to this somehow.
Okay, rightio. Well, I mean, does any of this... How much of this ties into the other Deus Ex games is what I'm wondering, because I haven't played those.
Other Deus Ex, there are actually some references. Like I've said, there are some characters, like the Yakuza boss, who appears in the other Deus Ex games, but foreshadowing-wise to the events of the other Deus Ex games, I haven't noticed many in the DLC itself, aside from the holograms of the final level arenas, like the holo projection of where all the spoilers, where all the AI constructs are kept. But yeah,
Okay.
It's more towards the end of the game, and there's some flat-out cutscenes that reference towards what caused the events in the Deus Ex 1, essentially. But obviously it's foreshadowing to a long time in the future. This game is a prequel from, I think it's a good roughly 10 to 20 years before the events of Deus Ex 1. So we're not going to see many things at the rate that technology progresses.
Okay.
But there is some talk of the way that technology is going is mostly referred to in the backstory. So some of Megan's research, there's been one or two mentions of nanotechnology becoming the new hit instead of augmentations. That's it, really.
Okay. What did you think of the characters we bumped into during this little escapade? You should really be asking me these things, but do tell. You're the games master here, as it were.
I'm the wizard. I'm wizard. No, some of them were kind of needless. Burke was a complete Burke and turned into a mustache-twirling villain, which I thought was kind of unnecessary and kind of didn't fit in with the rest of the game, because it's all been down to earth. The bosses we've had so far have been dedicated mercenaries.
I guess it's maybe making the statement that you have to be a whole new shade of fucked up to be like a Guantanamo guard, basically.
Well, to oversee Guantanamo Bay.
To oversee, even worse, yeah.
I wouldn't really say that. I'd just say he could have been a more fleshed out character. And there were mentions of how he was trying to propel humanity's progression, regardless of the costs. And it's more a look into the ethics of science and where should we draw the line.
Right, okay.
Which, is something. I'm thrilled by the idea of scientific progression expanding vastly, but not if it means, leaving people behind or abusing
Not
others.
at the expense of people. Yeah, that sounds pretty cushy. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Deus Ex: The Missing Link. We'll be back after this with the final 3 missions of Deus Ex in 2 new arenas, 2 new levels.
Ooh, very, very nice. Looking
look
forward to it.
Yes, and things can get hammy, they get interesting, hammy again, even more interesting, and climactic.
That's a lot of words that mostly mean the same thing.
That man has an apple in his mouth, and with that I will leave you.
See you later.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.